All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check the videos out. I really appreciate all of the continued support. We have more PlayStation news to go over and discuss in this video. So before we dive into today's topics, make sure you do me a favor and hit the like button to help the video out and show it your support. And if you are new here to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. The first topic we're discussing is something that has caused quite a frenzy within the PlayStation community. That is the fact that PS3 games have started appearing on the PlayStation 5 store. Now, the reason why this has caused a lot of conversation is due to the timing. We've been talking about Sony possibly, although it's unlikely, but still possibly pursuing some type of full backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 5 and maybe even the PlayStation 4 with their upcoming Project Spartacus service that is seemingly set to be announced in the not too distant future. And so this is reading from VGC, where they say PlayStation 3 games have started appearing on the PlayStation 5's store, amidst suggestion that Sony could unveil further backwards compatibility support for the console. When viewing a PS3 game on the PlayStation 5 store, the listing should direct the player towards the PlayStation Now version of the game. However, Dead or Alive 5 displays a price tag. Other users on social media have reported seeing similar listings for PS3's Bejeweled and Prince of Persia games, The Forgotten Sands, and The Two Thrones, each with their own purchase prices. At the time of publishing, users have been unable to purchase a PS3 game from the PS5 store. The listing could be an error, but interestingly, Dead or Alive 5 on the PS3 isn't available on PlayStation Now in Europe. The listings have appeared following a discovery of a patent filed by PS5 system architect Mark Cerny, titled Backward Compatibility Through the Use of Spoof Clock and Fine Grain Frequency Control. This has naturally led many to speculate that Sony has finally developed a solution for older titles and could soon expand PS5's backwards compatibility support. Now, obviously, this is something that is going to get a lot of PlayStation fans excited. However, it seems as though this is actually a bug. Now, we have to understand that there is always the possibility that Sony is pursuing something like this, but we just can't look at what we're seeing here and assume that this is exactly what it's pointing to. If we go over to Twitter, we have Mystic letting us know that we should just kind of chill out with this. And, you know, big shout out to Mystic. He creates great content, and he quote tweeted Jordan Midler, who is the individual who seemingly discovered this and wrote it up on VGC. And he says, before this spreads like wildfire, a few things to point out. The visual bug has happened many times over the years. It's pulling the price from when PlayStation Now let you pay to rent games individually. Prince of Persia games used to be on PlayStation Now, so no, they're not new. He continues by saying, for now, I would say this is bad timing, the Spartacus rumor, this not new visual bug, and the patent that was referring to PS5, PS4 backwards compatibility. I hate to soul crush, but don't expect any local PS3 playback. Trust me, I'd love to be wrong though. Now, Mystic knows his stuff, and he is a huge fan of PlayStation, obviously, but I know he loves the PS3, and so I certainly believe him when he says that he, more than most people, would really love to see something like this happen. And so, you know, I think at this point in time, it would be in everyone's best interest to just keep your expectations as low as you can. I've seen some people pushing back against this, saying, no, there's just too much going on here. It's too much of a coincidence. This isn't normal. And I understand this, but I'm still going to recommend that for the sake of, you know, not being disappointed or underwhelmed with whatever Sony plans to do, to just kind of, you know, chill out on this a little bit, because if Sony is, again, pursuing something like this, we're just going to have to wait until we see something that gives us a bit more, you know, concrete proof that, okay, here we go. Because if you dig deeper into that patent, it turns out that, yeah, it's not referencing anything about, you know, PlayStation 3. It's seemingly kind of an update to what we've been seeing with the PS4 backwards compatibility on PlayStation 5. And I agree with what Mystic's saying here. The timing of this is like, wow, okay, you know, this is pretty crazy, right? Like a lot of things happening at one time, but you know, I do think it would be best for us to just kind of chill out. And you know, I do hope that Sony is pursuing this to some extent, because when we have these rumors and we have these kind of leaks or whatever you want to call them, right? There's just all this speculation. When we have it, you know, making the rounds like it does on seemingly a regular basis, you just see how passionate so many gamers are about wanting Sony to do this and make it a reality. And you have to assume that at some point, may not be, you know, anytime soon, but at some point, Sony will find a solution and they will implement something and they will figure it out, right? We just don't know if anything we're seeing right now actually has anything to do with that. It could just very well be a situation where it's like when you look at what's there, you look at the facts, it doesn't really point to this being a thing, but people just want it so bad that we want to believe that this is what Sony is doing, right? And so, you know, we'll have to just kind of sit back and wait and see if anything more pops up. You know, I think at this point, people are going to kind of be on the lookout to see if anything else strange occurs that maybe can't be explained away so easily. So yeah, that's the situation with PS3 games appearing on the PlayStation 5 store. You guys can let me know your thoughts about this down below. Moving on to the next topic, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it, but I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. The Spider-Man 2 PS5 Reveal trailer has officially crossed 20 million views on YouTube. And this is just something that I feel is worth pointing out for a moment here, because it really does go to show just how insanely hyped people are for Spider-Man 2. It's not surprising, it's not shocking, but it just kind of backs up what everybody already thinks, that being that Spider-Man 2 is going to just do crazy numbers for Sony, right? I mean, people are going to flock to the PS5 if it does remain a PS5 only title in 2023. People are absolutely going to flock to the PS5 to be able to play this game. And when you see a YouTube trailer, you know, hit 20 million views in just a couple of months, I mean, it goes to show again just how excited people really are for Spider-Man 2. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. Pretty cool stat there. But moving on from that, we are talking about God of War Ragnarok, because Sony is once again reiterating that God of War Ragnarok is releasing in 2022. At least that's what we seem to be looking at here. This is reading from PlayStation Universe, where they say Sony Interactive Entertainment has reiterated that God of War Ragnarok will launch in 2022, putting to rest any fears that the highly anticipated PS4 and PS5 sequel may not make it out this year. The game was included in a list of upcoming 2022 releases for Sony's consoles, which includes the likes of Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, Dying Light 2, and Elden Ring. We still don't know the exact release date for God of War Ragnarok, but that will come in time. And so a lot of people were kind of honed in on this because, believe it or not, there is a pretty decent amount of fear that God of War Ragnarok will be delayed to 2023. And I don't want to sit here and say that it's 100% locked in with absolute certainty that there's no chance at all God of War could slip, but the chances are very, very slim. It's looking very much like Sony is confident with a 2022 release. Between seeing the ratings recently, you know, I wanted to just highlight this for you guys because, you know, I don't want to say that you should have complete confidence, but I think you can at least rest your fear in, you know, the idea of Ragnarok slipping to 2023. I think that Sony has already, you know, likely a significant lineup of games for 2023. I mean, we already know about KOTOR Remake, we know about Spider-Man 2, and you have to imagine there are quite a few titles we don't know about yet that internally Sony has set for 2023. I really don't think God of War Ragnarok is one of those games that they want to release in that year. They want to release it this year. So there you go. God of War Ragnarok looking like it's going to hit its 2022 release. Moving on to the next topic, some potentially disappointing news. Apparently, Hogwarts Legacy may not launch until 2023. This is what is being claimed. Reading from VGC, Hogwarts Legacy, the upcoming Harry Potter RPG, may not launch until 2023, according to a journalist. Speaking on his Sacred Symbols Plus podcast, Colin Moriarty, when his co-host brought up the game in a discussion, said, quote, "I'm hearing behind the scenes that game is not coming out this year and that it's in some sort of trouble," unquote. While Moriarty didn't elaborate, the game hasn't been publicly shown in some time and currently has no release date beyond 2022. And so this is the latest update we have on Hogwarts Legacy. Last we heard, this game is getting ready to be shown off once again during the next State of Play, and that State of Play is apparently set to happen in early February, likely the first week of February, if the rumors are to be believed. And if what Colin Moriarty is saying here, based off of what he's hearing, that the game's not going to launch this year, it's coming in 2023, we could end up seeing the delay announced at the State of Play. We'll get a new trailer. People will be very excited, very relieved that we're finally seeing more of this game after all this time. But it's going to also come with the announcement that, yeah, it's being pushed to 2023, which honestly is surprising to me because I really did think that Hogwarts Legacy was going to be a game that launched this year. And we do have to understand this is just a rumor. I think Colin Moriarty has proven to be, reliable in the past. And so I do believe what he's saying here. And, it wouldn't surprise me at this point after hearing what he's saying if we do end up getting that delay announcement. But I really did think it was going to be a 2022 game, and it still might. But, for anybody who is anticipating this game, which I know many of you are, you might want to just kind of assume at this point, for the sake of not feeling overly or too disappointed that, yeah, it's going to be a 2023 game. But, we'll have to wait for that confirmation. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Be sure to leave it a like if you did. Make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.